Today's topic is group of 7, that is G7. So first we should know why it is in news. Why G7 is in news? G7 is in news because recently a Prime Minister Mr. Modi was invited as a guest nation representative from India by France PM to attend the G7 summit. So we should first focus on the G7 summit 2019, which was held at France. So we must know where it was held. These are all factual knowledge you must know for the exam purpose. G7 Summit 2019 was held at Biarritz, France. It is a coastal city on the Bay of Biscay. This information can also be very useful for the purpose of exam. So you must know it is a coastal city on the Bay of Biscay, and you must locate the Bay of Biscay on the map. So India was invited as a guest nation. India, as you know, India is not a member of the G7 nation, so India was invited as a guest nation. So what did Mr. Modi highlighted in this event? Mr. Modi highlighted the following efforts of India in this summit. It includes eliminating single-use plastic, conserving water, harnessing solar energy, protecting flora and fauna. So Mr. Modi highlighted these several issues on the ground of environmental efforts taken by India. So you must highlight these points in your answers, in the subjective ones. So these are all factual and some information about the G7 Summit 2019, which were held at France 2019. So we must know what is G7. G7 is an international intergovernmental economic organization. So point here to note is economic organization, okay, which comprises the seven most advanced economies in the world. Now second point to note is here is the word advance. So this is an economic organization consisting of most advanced economies in the world. And how much? 7. When it was established in 1975 as G6. It was established as G6 in 1975 after the 1973 oil crisis. So in the G6 members included France, Germany, Italy, Japan, UK and USA, and Canada was included in 1976. So it came to be known as G7. But Russia was also included in 1997, so it was renamed as G8. But in 2014 Russia was excluded after its invasion of Crimea. So right now it has 7 members, so it is named as G7. And you must know these are as I have told, these are all very advanced nations. So these all G7 nations are very high in first net wealth, HDI and per capita GNI. Okay, so you must be thinking that this is a group of so much advanced nations, so their decision at the meeting should be very valuable and should be legally binding. But point here to note is their decisions at their summit is not legally binding. They are not binding on the other countries, but simply they exert a strong political influence. Why they exert strong? Because as you know, they are the most advanced nations and they contribute a lot to the world economy. So their decisions and their ideas exert a strong influence on the other nations. So you must be, as I mentioned, that these 7 nations are very high in net wealth, SDI and per capita GNI. So you must be wondering why then China and India are not in the G7, as they are also one of the largest economies. They are in the top 7 of the largest economies in the world. But you must note here that the second and third point, that is HDI and per capita GNI, in which both China and India lagged behind those of the advanced nation. So as per take example, the most advanced nation, that is the G7, their per capita GNI, that is GNI, that is $40,000 per capita GNI. They almost more than $40,000. Whereas in India the per capita GNI is near about $2,000, and in China that is around $8,000. So you can see the vast difference between the per capita GNI of these nations, India and China, and those of the advanced nation of G7. Plus they are categorized as advanced nation by the IMF, whereas India and China are categorized as developing nation by the IMF. So you must be now fully aware, you must have fully known that the why India and China are not in the G7, because of their less HDI and per capita GNI, and their categorization as developing nation as per the IMF. So as we have talked about SDI, so we must note a point of we must note a point on the SDI also. What is SDI? It is an index on the three basis of some indicators. So it is an index prepared on the basis of some indicators. What are the indicators? The first indicator is life expectancy at birth. The second indicators include knowledge, in which two sections are there. One is expected years of schooling and mean years of schooling, and the third one is GNI per capita. Okay, these are the indicators, and their calculation is known as life expectancy index, education index, and GNI index. So based on these three index, the human development index is calculated. You must know this one important point, how SDI is calculated. If you take the geometric mean of these three indexes, that is life expectancy index, education index, and GNI index, you will get the SDI. So it is the geometric mean of these three indexes by which you will get the SDI. You must note here the geometric mean. You must not confuse in the exam with the arithmetic mean. They might give you an arithmetic mean. So here it is geometric mean. Okay, this is all about SDI, and I have told you about the G7. Their decision are not legally binding, but their decision exert a strong influence. Okay, and what they discuss at the summits in which they take part, they discuss the burning issues happening around the world. So annually they all meet in the summit and they discuss the burning issues. Okay, so you should know all these things, and the factual thing about the G7 summit 2019, which took place at France. Okay, thank you.